Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Autumn Embers and today I am building in the beautiful, pretty, stunning world of Sirens, and that is because this build is part of my Dark Disney Princess series. So I'm now building Ariel's home, which is why I'm building in Sirens, because it is perfect for the Little Mermaid Ariel, because you know this is the pack that came with mermaids, and so I thought this is the perfect place for it. And I was thinking, okay, I already know she is gonna be an evil siren, she's gonna be an evil mermaid. What could her home look like, since that's the whole point of the series? So I was like, okay, she could live underwater, which makes perfect sense because she's a mermaid. Mermaids live in water. So I was like, okay, I could make an underwater home. I've been wanting to make an underwater home. Never got around to doing it, but I've always wanted to build one. But I was like, oh no, it needs to be a bit more special. This is for my Dark Disney Princess series. And I was like, I want it to be, you know, a bit more special. What could it be? And I then saw the picture on Twitter for the Sims stream, a Flying Dutchman ship build, and I was like, oh, that is perfect. Ariel, the little mermaid, evil Ariel, she could live in a ship. Ships appear in the film. Eric was on a ship. He was rescued by Ariel from a shipwreck. I can't remember what happened, but you know, he was on a ship and he got saved from a shipwreck, and I thought, that is perfect. Yes, I'm gonna build a ship. And I was like, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna build it underwater. I'm gonna use the tool mod. I'm gonna use the Get Famous set pieces for the actual ship bit, and so I only have to like build the middle part, which is basically a rectangle. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be dandy. This is gonna be great. And then I started to build the ship. And I was like, this is not quite working out. This is not quite what I was expecting. This is not what I didn't want it to look like this, actually. This is not going well. And I was like, but I don't know what else to do. I mean, ship was perfect for Ariel. Perfect for evil Ariel. This is great. But this isn't going well. What do I do? So I decided I was going to build a ship from scratch. Now that kind of daunted me. The thought of me building a ship from scratch kind of scared me a little bit. I was like, I don't want to build a ship from scratch. Have you seen a ship? They're huge and they look complicated to build. I was like, I don't want to build a ship from scratch. No way, that seems really complicated. No, thank you. No. And so I decided to watch a Sim stream build once again, this time focusing intently on how much or like what she was doing, what type of shapes she was like building, what she was putting down. And I was like, okay, I got this. I think I understand what she's doing. And so I started to build the ship. As you can see, I used one of the Get Famous ship pieces, which was the front of the ship, and I've got that at the front. And I basically built the back of the ship. And as I was building it, it was like, oh, it's actually not that intimidating. It was actually quite easy to build. And I know by the end of it, once I'm finished with my ship, I know my ship is nowhere near as complex or as well detailed as the Sims stream, because her is like, wow, mind-blowing, okay, I have no idea you could do that in the Sims world, okay, but that's just like her style of building. But despite saying that, I'm still very, very, very happy with myself. I'm very proud of myself that I built this ship and it kind of looks like a ship. I was so proud of myself, so much so that once I was finished building with it, I like the exterior, I was like, Dad, who was sitting right next to me, Dad, what do you think this is? Hoping and praying he said ship, because I thought it looked like a ship, but if no one else sees the ship, then it's kind of pointless. So it's like hoping and praying he said ship. And so he kind of leaned into the computer because he didn't have his eyeballs in, because his contacts were hurting him a little bit. So he took his eyeballs out. So he leaned into the computer. I was like, waiting in anticipation he was going to say ship. And he's like, oh, it kind of looks like a ship. And he's like, and he was looking at me, he's like, is that the right answer? Was I meant to say ship? I was like, yeah, it is a ship. Damn right it's a ship. I built that ship. And I was so happy and pleased with myself. The next evening, my mum was walking past me and I was like, Mum, what do you think this is? Don't you think it looks like a ship? What do you think of it? Mum was like, oh, yeah, it's a ship. It's very good, sweetie. It's a ship. So, yeah, it is a ship, isn't it? And you know, when you load your game, you pick the world that you would like to build in or play in, and you have the overview of the map so you can see all your buildings, what's in that world. And I was just looking and go, look, that's my build there, that's my lot there, it looks like a ship. And my dad was just like, you're really happy with your ship build, aren't you? He's like, yeah, I am. I don't think I could build a ship in The Sims 4. I didn't know I could build. I mean, I knew you could build one in The Sims 4. I watched someone do it. But, you know, I didn't think I could build a ship in The Sims 4. And so I know it's nowhere near as complex as the Sims Stream's Flying Dutchman ship, but I'm still really happy with my one, because I didn't think I could do it. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I love it. It is perfect for evil Siren Ariel. Ariel, why did I, break up her name? It's really perfect for Ariel. So I'm so happy with it. And I got to build in Solani. I don't really build in Solani. I don't know why. I want to build more in Solani because it is such a pretty, beautiful, stunning world. But moving on to the ship sails, I know it has sails, but they're folded up, but I want them to be down. And this was another thing that I saw in the Sims Dream build this time. This was the Spooked Haunted Ghost ship that she made, because she's made 2 ship designs and she likes making them. So the Spooky Day spider webs, I used them as ship sails because I saw that in her ghost ship. I thought, oh, that was a good idea. I'm going to use it for my one. And they were a bit of a pain in the butt to place, because the Spooky Day webs, they are meant to be placed on a wall, and so if you got walls surrounding your webs, they will automatically want to snap onto the wall. And I already had built the back end of the ship, which meant I had walls surrounding my wall decoration, but I wasn't using them as wall decoration. I was using them as sails, and so they're all a bit of annoying because they want to snap to the wall surrounding them. But with the help of the tool mod, I managed to move them in place and elevate them, and I absolutely love the tool mod. I do use the tool mod a lot more during this build, but I absolutely love it. The main reason that I really love this, 1, you can rotate items, which is great. 2, this is the best feature that I like, is that if you use debug items like I do, I use them a lot, especially when I'm doing gardening or landscaping. I like the plants in the debug section, especially if you are doing a restricted budget, a house build or community lot build. You got a restricted budget, got no budget for the gardening, but the gardening would really elevate your look of your build. Then go ahead and check out the debug live edit section. You've got lots of free plants, and I'm always using that debug section, and a lot of the time I am normally building these things across several days. It takes me a long time to do these things, and most of the time I go, oh, that's a really cool item, I like that item. I don't know where I got you from though, right? Are you in the normal section of the menu, build by menu, or are you in the debug menu? And if you are from the debug menu, are you from the live edit debug menu, or are you from the hidden debug menu? They're 2 different menus. They require 2 different cheats. And so having the tool mod, I can just not go through that confusion. I can just shift click the item, toggle it, and then copy and paste it. It is brilliant. I love that part of the tool mod. So if you're thinking about getting the tool mod from Twisted Mexi, I would definitely recommend it. It's easy to download. The page you go to download it to, they have written down the steps to how to download it. There are also plenty of how to download mods, videos that you can search and check out. If you have ever downloaded CC from a custom content creator, it's quite similar to that. It's very similar to that. So if you're thinking about it, go for it. If it's not for you, you can delete it and just get it off your laptop because it's free, it's fun to use. So moving on to the inside of this ship. So when you first go inside the ship, once you've once you've climbed up the ladders, walked across the deck, the first room you walk into is Evil Ariel's room. And this is basically, normally in a ship, I think this is where the captain of the ship would sit down and look at an old map with his compass and his other compass that draws circles with a bit of rum. I don't know, I've only really watched Pirates of the Caribbean. That's the only ship Pirates film that I've ever watched. But this is normally the room that it would take place, and I thought this would be a perfect room for Ariel, our evil mermaid. And I love this room. Of course, I've used Ariel's colours, which are an aqua green colour, a purple colour because of her shells, and red. Now, because her colours are quite light and pastel-like, I have decided to darken them down a little bit because she is an evil siren. We all know what sirens do. They will use their beautiful lullaby, the beautiful voices, to sing to these sea sims, to sing to these sea sims and drag them down to the murky depths of the water. So I have decided to darken the colours of Ariel into more of a darker, rich turquoise colour and a more darker pinky purpley fuchsia colour, because there are lots of pinky purpley fuchsia colours in The Sims 4. I noticed that when I was doing the Dark Sleeping Beauty build, which was the build that I did before this, because I'm doing this in the order in which their films came out. So I started off with Snow White, moved on to Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, The Little Mermaid, Ariel, and then I think next is Belle. So there are some Disney princesses where I was like, oh, I know exactly what they would be if they were creatures of the night. Sleeping Beauty and Ariel Pearl, two of them where I was like, oh, that's so clear, it is so obvious what they would be. Some of them, like Cinderella and Belle, actually, I don't know what they could be. I asked my mum when I came up with this idea, I was like, hey mum, if Belle was evil, if Belle was a creature of the night, if she was a monster or like something supernatural, part of the occult, what would she be? And my mum's right, she's beautiful, right? Beauty and the Beast. She's beautiful. Obviously the Beast is the Beast. What's the opposite of beautiful? A troll. So she is a troll. If you have any other ideas what Belle could be, then please tell me. Otherwise, she is a troll. She will always be a troll. So if you have any ideas that aren't troll, that would be great, because I'm like, trolls live under a bridge. How am I supposed to like fit a house under a bridge? I mean, that's a massive ditch in the ground. I like the idea of a troll, but it's just the house part. I'm a bit confused how to go about building a house for Belle, who is a troll. Because yeah, trolls live under a bridge. So if you have any other ideas, that would be great. Otherwise, I have to wrap my head around troll bridge Belle. But anyways, let's move on. Let's just carry on talking about, Ariel's evil ship. She lives in the ship. Oh, she also lives with Ursula, because I had another bedroom downstairs, which is basically like not dungeon. What's it? Cell. It's a cell a little bit. And there was another room next to it, so I was like, what could I do? And I was like, oh, this could be a bedroom for Ursula. Now Ariel's evil, now she's an evil siren, she could be bestie mates with Ursula. And I thought that's great, so I used very lots of purples in Ursula's bedroom, which is downstairs, next to the cell bit. And yeah, and I could just imagine Ursula and Ariel having a good old natter in the massive kitchen that they've got over a nice hot cup of seawater, going, oh, did you see the look on his face? Oh, it's so funny. Oh my god, what do you think you were gonna do to him? Oh, he was so funny. You know, just have a good natter, be like too cheeky, naughty, evil creatures, just having a good old, you know, laugh about dragging down sea sims to the murky depths of the water, and just having a good old laugh about it. And their faces like, oh, but he was wondering what was happening then, and stuff like that. And so I do put Ursula's room down, and I thought I really like that idea. I like that idea. So moving on to the living room area, I don't really know what I was doing, but I was like, okay, Ariel in the movie, she has a cabin full of knickknacks and paddywhacks, and she's really curious about the human world. And so throughout this build, I was putting down like bits and pieces that she probably would have found either in the human world or in the sea, and just pick them up and then put them down into her home. So there's lots of clutter in this build. I thought in those crates there could be old artifacts that she hasn't quite opened up quite yet, and she's just, you know, storing them in the side. So there are lots of like knickknacks and clutter around this. I do some of it off screen because I only came up with that idea like halfway through. As you can see, I'm pushing down some sea plants all over the place just to really get in the idea this is Ariel's home, this is where she lives, and like I said, I really wanted her home to be underwater. And since that idea went kind of out the window, I thought introducing sea plants into this place would be a nice compromise, because, you know, they live in the water, but we can't get her house or her ship like underwater. Part of it is in water, which is great, which is what kind of is a nice compromise. But I actually wanted her home to be under the water. But since these sea plants actually live under the water, perhaps you just pick them up and put them in her home, and for like a little bit of home, her water home inside of her land home. So I thought that'd be like a nice idea. Put a bar down because I didn't know what else to put in the area, and putting down some lamps. So like I said, this is the second time me building this home, and this is not the only build that I'm now like rebuilding twice. And before I get on to that, I just want to quickly say that these pictures are by, hang on, I took a screenshot and okay, found them. So these are like sea pictures are by NaJoPau. So the pictures are by NaJoPau are the anchor and map pictures, and then the mermaid tail one that looks like a chalkboard, that is by, I'm pretty sure that's by Fruit Loops 40, and then the ship pictures, they are by Fruit Loops 40. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the map ones with the compass and the ship steering wheel, I'm pretty sure that's by NaJoPau. I don't know how to pronounce their names, which is why I'm like spelling it out. I will also put their names in the description box below so you can find their work. But like I was saying, there have been many builds that I'm like building once, not happy with them, doubting myself, like, are they good enough? Is there like enough detail in this build? And just questioning myself to the point where like, no, I don't think this is good enough, I need to rebuild. And so I delete it and rebuild them. And I have noticed I have gone from uploading on a regular basis from like a Wednesday to a Saturday, and that kind of stopped during last summer of the last year. That's because my mum has been working throughout the entire lockdown, this entire time. She's been working at the school, and so when she had time off during the summertime, I was like spending time with her because I've been mainly spending time with my dad because he hasn't been working. And so when the summer came last year, I spent a lot of time with my mum, which meant that my videos weren't as regular as they used to be, and so I kind of dropped the ball. And I find it really hard to pick up the ball once I've dropped it. And I don't know what happened in between September and December. I don't know what happened. I know I was in the collab, had a great fun with that collab. And I was kind of panicking. It's like, oh my god, I'm in a collab with all these great, amazing people. But also at the same time, I there's a deadline. I need to get these builds out. I'm super slow. And so I know I built them like super early. So I was in like delaying things. So I remember that. But I can't really remember what was in between September and December. But I do know at the moment, since that happened, since basically the new year rolled in, I do know that I'm building bigger things, and those things take time. I'm slow. I've introduced a tool mod, and I'm going through a phase where I am doubting myself. I'm like, is this good enough? Is this, I don't know. Is this good enough? Does this have enough detail? I'm questioning myself, and so I'm building these big things. I'm doubting myself, and I delete them, and I'm just super slow. And so I know my builds haven't been regular, but I am trying. I am like relaunching my cake business. I was at the point of calculating all my products for my cake business, because I have like set products. So we got like different flavour cupcakes, different flavour like brownies and biscuits and cheesecakes, and that's been taking a lot of time. And then I'm now at the product testing stage of my business. You think, oh, that's great, you've just been like eating cakes all day, and once you've baked like one cake, and bearing in mind I am baking like a batch of 6 because I'm trying to scale down the items, and scaling down in baking is so hard. Scaling up in the baking world is so much easier. Scaling down is super difficult. I mean, you think, oh, you just half it. That would be great, but when you get into like quarter of a teaspoon, half a quarter of a teaspoon is 1/8 of a teaspoon. There's no 1/8 of a teaspoon out there, because 1/8 of a teaspoon is basically a pinch. And when you've got like a pinch of baking powder, you go, I don't think I can use this recipe because they clearly put baking powder in there for a reason, and it's pointless to put in a pinch. And so, it's been difficult, and I've been baking like batches of 6 cupcakes, and you think, oh, that's brilliant, you can just eat cakes all day. But once you've baked like 4 batches of 6, that's what, 24? Have I done my maths right? 24? I don't know. I don't want to commit to the number 24. I bet it's not 24. Let's hang on. 6 times 4. No, no, that's times. 24, I was right. 24 cupcakes of different flavours, and there's only 3 of you in the house. That's a lot of cupcakes to eat. And it's like, oh, you just give them away to people. I don't know anybody. There's like my sister, but but there's only so many cupcakes she can eat. And it's like, what do I do? I'm now at the point where like I need to test these products to see if they work, because the carrot cake recipe that I was using did not work. In my first ever time baking, I had rubbery bouncy carrot cakes, and I was so annoyed with it. I rolled it up into a ball and it would bounce, and it did. So that's why I need to check these things out, and I can't sell them because the reason why I was baking carrot cakes was because the carrot cakes were for a little celebration what's it called, afternoon tea box to give to my sister to celebrate, saying, well done, I'm so proud of you, you got through and passed your trial test thing, you know, jobs do, you mean you got your job, but we're just going to do a trial test thing to see if your job going to be permanent. And she passed it with flying colours, so it's just saying, I'm so proud of you, you passed it. And I thought this is a great opportunity to test out my new recipes. And I was so disappointed and annoyed that carrot cake cupcake recipe turned out like that. And so the thought of giving it away to people that I don't know, and I'm testing these products, really doesn't, make me feel comfortable. Because this was just for my sister and it went wrong. And my dad's like, it's okay, it's just for your sister. But it's like, but this is meant to be like a really proud, well done moment. And I'm giving her really bouncy, heavy carrot cake. And I wasn't happy with that. So yeah, I'm a bit stuck at the moment. Like, how do I get rid of these baked products? There's only so much baking products you can eat. So those pictures in the kitchen, did I take a photo of the person? Yeah, I did. Okay, those blue pictures that I used as like the backsplash of the kitchen, they are by Sparklilli. Sparklilli. I will put down their name in the description box below. The name that they call their creation was Geo Green. I thought it was perfect because it kind of looked like a mermaid scale, so I put them down as a backsplash for the kitchen. So their name is Sparklilli. Okay, so this is Ursula's bedroom. Like I said, I thought Ursula and evil Ariel, who is now a siren, could be bestie mates, having a right all laugh about the sea people that they drag down into the murky depths of their dungeon cell area that I got going on. So this is her bedroom. This is full of purples because her colour is purple, black, and I think like a dusty pink, I'm not too sure. I don't know. But look, I put down an octopus because she's an octopus and we don't have octopuses, so I thought octopi. We got one down there. So I did notice, even with the debug hidden objects item cheat on and the debug show live edit objects on, I noticed that even with those two cheats on, we don't have the seashells that your sim may find by beach combing. And I was like, but that would be perfect, she collects things in or around the place, she would have seashells around the place. So I was okay, right, my sim is now going to go off to go and find these seashells. And one of these seashells kind of look like the little shell that Ursula kept Ariel's voice in. And you just saw me pull it down because I thought, oh, that looks so much like the shell that Ursula kept the Little Mermaid's Ariel voice in. So I put it down onto her bedside table. And the other seashells that my sim collected, I've also dotted around the place, including some of the Solani treasures. I also dotted them around the place. One of them kind of looks like a comb, so I put it down onto Ariel's Vanity Fair thing upstairs in her bedroom. This is like the cells. I do put down, this is basically where they pee. This is the toilet, the bucket. I do put down like a medical skeleton. It's either Ariel found it and thought it'd be a good laugh to scare these sea people that she meets and just put it down and lie it down onto these beds. And so it kind of looks like, someone died in these cells. And so she's kind of trolling the people that she's dragging down in here. So I thought it'd be a good idea, to scare them a little bit more than they would be. But this is the cell area. I really like it. I really like all these sea plants all over the place. I do put down sort of like watermarks on the floor because it's in the water, it would be slightly leaky and damp in here, so I put down some watermarks in there, put some vines in there because it's manky and green and disgusting and slimy and mouldy. This is a laundry room because I had a lot of space in it. It was quite generous space in here. It was like, I could fit in a pop fountain in here, which means I've gone backwards because the very first house that I built in The Sims 2 was massive. I didn't really get, proportion and size in the game, and I could fit in a park fountain into my build. I was like, I could do this build as well. But I'm doing the greenery bit, but this is where I'm going to leave you. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. So thank you and goodbye.